This is the Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Nguni. Fellow countrymen, the soul of the nation is hurting, and the battle before us has nothing to do with the October 26th elections. This is a battle for the soul of the nation. It is a spiritual battle. It is a cunning capture by what the Orange Revolution in Ukraine described as the dark Sabbath of witches. In Africa, this Sabbath created 60 years of war in mineral-rich Congo, and the war is still raging. Then they moved to Somalia, the most beautiful country on earth. They collapsed it with Fujo. Before that, they disorganized Rwanda, Burundi, and every country that mattered in our region. Now the Sabbath of dark spirituality has congregated in Kenya, and Raila is their political high priest. Senseless violence, die-hard poverty, and national confusion are the hallmarks of this priesthood. If the soul of the nation is hurting, therefore, it is because power has shifted to a very dark place. Consider the arguments with us.
If Maraga fed the soul of the nation to the wolves in the name of the law, we must describe the darkness of his folly. Let us begin with October 26th. Will we have an election? In our view, the October 26th election will happen. However, if Raila says there will be no election, can he stop October 26th? And the answer is a resounding yes. If all the 8 candidates are included in the ballot, as ordered by Justice Mativo, the election can be stopped. According to Article 138(8)(b) of the Constitution, if a running mate to one of the 8 candidates dies before October 26th, the election will be moved to Boxing Day on December 26th. Fellow countrymen, there is a running mate who lives in Kawangware and goes home using Route 46 matatus. He is foolishly proud of this. But if some Kawangware Mukoras kill him or a Kawangware dog bites him to death before October 26th, there will be no election. And this is the only way Raila can stop October 26th.
Now we will give you our second dark scenario. If the election will happen on October 26th without a problem at the IEBC, Maraga will nullify it. On October 27th, Jubilee will celebrate a 68% victory, or whatever the numbers will be. But on November 4th, Raila will take this victory to Maraga. And the Dark Brotherhood of Law will decide whether it is genuine or not. But we do not have to wait for this decision. We can discern it from history. Did Maraga tell us he will nullify the October election? Tick. Did he say he will nullify it if the process does not meet his standards? Tick. Has the IEBC met the Supreme Court standard inspired by NASA? 0. Will they ever meet these standards on Earth? Never. Will the Supreme Court nullify the October 26th election, therefore? Tick. The second dark scenario, therefore, is this. We will vote on October 26th, but on November 23rd, Maraga will nullify the October election, period. A fresh election will be ordered for January 23rd, 2018. And this is not a sick joke like the Raila withdrawal. It is real.
If the election is nullified on November 23rd, 2017, and a fresh election is ordered 60 days later on January 23rd, 2018, what are the implications? We will take you through this slowly. After Raila did his fake withdrawal, his cronies immediately demanded for a caretaker government and a referendum on secession the following day. And they did this because they believed that there would be no election on October 26th. However, if the election happens and is nullified for a second time on November 23rd, these same cronies will immediately demand a caretaker government the day after the nullification. And that will be on the 24th of November, 2017. And the argument will be a very simple one. It will be that Uhuru's mandate expired on November 1st, 2017. They will go on to argue, as they did on October 11th, that the most suitable person to head the caretaker government is none other than Justice Maraga. And if Maraga is a power-hungry judge, he will complete the coup by declaring himself the president of the caretaker government. More so, if the riots and the unrest continue.
Now we must return to the political congregation of sinners. And because we do not understand its workings in Kenya, we can only ask questions. 1. Is it true that a number of days after making his ruling, Maraga traveled to Lithuania? Lithuania is inspired by George Soros, and it is not far from Ukraine, where their Supreme Court nullified a presidential election, igniting the Orange Revolution. If Maraga had 21 days to write a judgment, why travel to a space inspired by George Soros instead of writing his judgment? This did not add up. 2. Almost everyone Raila has met in London this week is connected to George Soros. And Soros, a Hungarian-American billionaire, was denounced by the Hungarian parliament as satanic. He was described by the New American as a lord of chaos who pursues a world order that is demonic. If this is true, why is Raila connected to him? Is this part of the Sabbath of witches?
As a young student of law, I beg to interpret the weighty matters before us, and you'll forgive me if I get it wrong. 1. The NASA demonstrations are not inspired by democracy. 0. They are drums of war. They are meant to normalize disorder and death in the name of democracy. So far, 40 people have died for no reason since the August 8th riots. If we accept this disorder on Monday, Tuesday, until Friday, we will accept the horrors of civil war running for years on end. And this is what the demos are meant to achieve. They are conditioning our minds to accept violence as a way of life. 2. Will dialogue end the demos? 0. 26th of October is the day of national dialogue. The church and Kotu have no business calling for dialogue over a matter that October 26th will resolve. End of discussion. If Raila has refused to do elections, we should not pamper him like a big fat baby. The country should give him a man-to-man treatment. The coming war should be between country and a spoiled tribal monarch known as Raila Odinga Amolo.
Raila's political career ended the day he withdrew from the race. But I was not surprised because Raila is known to cannibalize himself. Now, if he has withdrawn from the race, why does he want IEBC reform before the elections? If he's not a candidate, why is he staging daily riots to reform an IEBC whose election he's not even going to be a part of? I have a thought on this. Raila wants to start a civil war in Kenya. And for the last 2 months now, he has done everything to provoke us to go to war. But we have refused. But in the meantime, 40 people have died since August 8th. And their blood is squarely in the hands of Raila, in my view. Now he wants us to shed more blood from Monday to Friday every single week. Now, if this man is not the high priest of the Sabbath of witches, then I wonder who is. But there's one more thing. All avenues to stop the October 26th election have been collapsed. But there's only one thing that can stop October 26th. If one of the 5 colorless running mates dies, then the election will be cancelled and Raila will be proven right. And the question we need to pose to him is this: is this their plan B?
And now our final thought. The election will happen on October 26th, unless a colorless candidate or running mate is killed, beaten to death by a dog, or misuses the blue pill. And if October 26th happens, we must confirm that Raila is a liar. He said it would not happen. Then it happened. But maybe Raila is just a trickster. He told us that he will not go to the Supreme Court. Then he went. Afterwards, he confessed it was just a clever trick. Why then shouldn't we classify him as a trickster? If he says he will not go to the Supreme Court, it means that he will go. If he says there will be no elections, it means there will be elections. If he says he is not interested in Nusum Kate government, it means that he wants Nusum Kate desperately. If riots have increased from 3 days to every day, it means he wants dialogue. And if you give him dialogue, it means you have given him Nusum Kate. He will talk about IBC, demos and other useless things. However, his bottom line is to be in government, but he will deny it.